Hello friends, family, other creatures of the sea, welcome back to another high-level game of StarCraft 2. Today we have ByuN versus DRG. In the bottom left, spawning as the blue Terran is ByuN. And in the top right we have DRG, it's opening up with a quick 16 pool. At the same time we see ByuN opening up with a command center on the low ground here. You would say perhaps that if you don't know too much about StarCraft 2, that getting some quick links out against someone that plays the greediest opener, that it would be a good start, you know, maybe you can deal some damage, but the opposite is true here. Getting the command center first means that your command center will be done before the links reach your base. And because you tend to full wall with a factory here, this is the standard at least, the links actually cannot achieve anything whatsoever, and thus pool first actually gets hard countered by command center first. As long as you full wall the ramp, you should be completely fine. Your SCV will be done with this command center. You can start the orbital command and then you can temporarily lift the command center, or well, at that time already the orbital command, and you should be completely fine. First 4 links start marching across the map, and DRG is not going to be too pleased when he finds out that this indeed is a command center first. Marine start, and we'll see the factory go down. It's not going to be built in the wall. A little bit greedy here out of ByuN, who also leaves the space open for a reactor, which means that even with an added-on depot, he will not be capable of full walling this. Now, it's only 4 links, and yes, having 1 marine isn't the greatest. You'd much rather have another marine on the way before the reactor, but it still should be okay. I believe he's going to be fine. This reactor might need to be cancelled. Good control there out of DRG. Gets a cancel on the reactor. Will need to be rebuilt, and that will cause a little bit of delay on the Hellions being reactored out. ByuN did not scout whatsoever with this, and if you play against pool first, there's always the risk that Zerg follows this up with a Roach Warren and does a Roach attack. A lot of Terrans, if they face this scenario, will get a blind bunker, but ByuN says, I don't need a blind bunker because I have my senses, you know, my spider senses, and right now they're not tingling, so I'm not gonna get a bunker whatsoever. Let's get the depot on the high ground, continues worker production of course, and this single marine is just poking and prodding at these links, trying to get them to run away. Will not quite succeed yet, but eventually, some Korean words here on the screen, this always scares me. I don't quite know what that means, of course. I think this would be the main reason for me to actually learn Korean, so I can understand the banter between the Korean players while they're playing in online cups. Because this is a very common occurrence, especially with ByuN. ByuN is a bit of a banter boy. Very often he'll laugh whenever something stupid happens, or he'll tell someone, wow, that's lucky, whenever they find his proxy barracks. Like he's one chatty fella. And he's a chatty fella that is pretty darn good at StarCraft as well, so I'd love to hear what he has to say. Sadly, without speaking or reading Korean, that's going to be quite difficult. Alright, what do we have as the follow-up? So for now it seems to be a medevac, a couple of Hellions on the way. Is this will be Banshee. Banshee or Raven. Smells like Banshee more than Raven though to me. Yep, it's going to be a Banshee indeed, as we have a follow-up bunch of Hellions. Now these marines in the medevacs will not really be capable of dealing any damage to a mineral line or killing 4 queens. No, these marines, they will be capable of denying overlord vision in some key areas and perhaps even killing an overlord here or there. So this first overlord was getting targeted down. I actually think ByuN, if he would have committed, could have gotten that, but he decided not to commit. Perhaps was a mistake, perhaps was not a mistake, difficult to say. 4 queens are out, just moving about, having a good time overall. Triple hatcheries, we have an armory on the way. Oh, this is going to be a Hellbat follow-up here. So ByuN with the Hellbat follow-up, but also a quick 3rd CC already. This is going to confuse DRG a little bit, and DRG isn't quite understanding what is going on. He does have the Baneling Nest done already, and perhaps, yeah, he'll get a couple of blind Banelings after he sees this many Hellions move out. He's like, hey, that's a suspicious number of Hellions. What's your plan with it, and why are they arriving so late? So they will start... Oh my god! He attacked the rocks to kill the creep tumor. That was really cute. And using the splash of the Hellions to beat that. That was absolutely beautiful play. Drones already evacuated from this base as the Banshee tries to get in towards the main base, but there's spores everywhere as well. And honestly, ByuN is going to achieve nothing. He's going to, yeah, actually 0 kills on the Banshee, 0 kills on these Hellbats. Is it only a single Banshee, or is a second Banshee also built? Yeah, second Banshee is now moving out. So we have barracks 4 and 5 on the way. The E-Bays are done as well, so he can start his 1-1 upgrades. That is nice, but you want to achieve a little bit more than just forcing out 4 Banelings. And this was defended with 4 Banelings and 8 Queens, 68 workers. The only positive point here for ByuN right now is the fact that the fort base is late. We also only see 5 gases. I kind of thought that because the fort base was so delayed that we might see a spire being thrown down. But that's not quite true because it's only 5 gases. So most likely just going to be some heavy Ling Bane Hydra type of play. 3 drones do end up falling right now as more Lings are on the way. Hellbats will try to cancel this fort base. That would actually be somewhat important, because DRG does not want to be oversaturating his natural or his third base. Fort will stay alive for now. That was important. It really was. Whoa, this is a fast fort. Am I crazy? No, this is a really fast fort. I'm not crazy. I'm a little wild in the head, but this is a really fast fort base, especially after a Hellbat push. Feels like ByuN might not have been macroing the tightest and thus had a little bit of money left over. That sometimes happens, of course. Can happen to the best, and ByuN definitely is the best. As 6 Hellbats start marching back towards the third base, Factory gets thrown down as well at that command center, and yeah, it's going to be the second factory. First one's just going to be producing mines, the second one will get that tech lab for potential tanks, but of course also to add the drilling claws upgrade, which is absolutely vital against Ling Bane Hydra compositions. Or well, mainly against Ling Bane compositions. Against the Hydra, often the tank is a more useful tool rather than the Widowmine. Vehicle plating is being researched here. I think that ByuN thinks that this is Ling Bane, because he saw the lack of a gas here. If he knew that this was Hydra Ling Bane, I think he would be getting vehicle weapons over the plating and actually start producing tanks the moment that he can. I really strongly believe that even. So far hasn't been capable of denying too much creep or dealing too much damage. These 2 Banshees over here will kill another Queen. I also think they just took out a drone that was trying to build something big run by with a bunch of Banelings. Good Hellbat split though out of ByuN and will clean it up pretty easily. Supply surprisingly even as the fort base is about to land. No extra gas is being taken yet, no infestation pit. We see it start right now at this point. That means that the hive should start somewhat soon. This DRG is slightly behind in upgrades as well. I'm kind of starting to like the position here for ByuN. ByuN, whose start wasn't brilliant, but with the Banshee and the Hellbat control, seems to have denied the fort base for long enough and scared his opponent enough that now he's in somewhat of a decent position. It's not brilliant, right? Like this is... It's not a great position, but supply is equal. Extra barracks are on the way. Fort is pretty much set up. We're lacking some sensor towers, perhaps. And I wouldn't mind seeing tank production start relatively soon. And at that point, I think ByuN is properly set up here for the later stages of the mid-game. As it feels like he kind of skipped that mid-game phase that some of the other Terrans love to play. With the many drops, with the harassment, trying to deny as much creep as possible. ByuN so far only taking out 13 creep tumors in a 9-minute game. Now 13 sounds like a big number, but if it's creep tumors, that's really not all that high. That's about 2 or 3 scans of worth of denying creep tumors. That's well, 1 queen gets taken out there. All medevacs with the Marines will manage to escape. So that was a no-cost trade. That's not really a trade. You're just a thief. You're stealing units from your opponent. You're not giving anything back. And in StarCraft 2, that is absolutely a positive thing. Lots of mines with this army, by the way. A couple of decent mine shots could really change this game around. First mine shot was okay, second mine shot was completely useless as it only managed to shoot a single Baneling down. This mine is too low, it will get taken out before it gets fired. There we go. Yep, a couple of more mine shots of creep. Of course, these mines are going to have an easier time connecting. Drilling Claws is not yet done. To make matters even worse, Drilling Claws hasn't even started yet. ByuN's going to get caught here, and he's going to get caught completely off guard. Will not get that pickup, as the DRG will blast this Marine drop on that side. Control with these links. These last second splits are so tight. I really do enjoy seeing that. Links, of course, with the high movement speed can really kind of dart away from these Widow mines and dodge the bullet, or, well, not really dodge it, but at least have their mates be safe. They'll take a bullet for their friends. Quite literally. Melee attacks level 2, finishing up here. There's a small window in which ByuN does have superior upgrades, but that window is about to close in 7-8 seconds from now. And ByuN has not started his 3-3 yet, although he is floating a fair amount of money and is maxed. So yeah, there we go. That started practically immediately. Not too much of a delay. And that's important because these little timings, even if it's only 10-15 seconds, they can make a huge difference. If that's the timing where you're fighting, that could be game deciding. That is a potentially game ending moment right there. As he continues pushing forward, but it's really not going to be able to achieve all that much here. I don't believe. There's so many Banelings, they're still creep, the upgrades are good. I'd be surprised if this push manages to do anything of major value here. I mean, it denies the creep from going up the ramp. It's difficult to break this area once it is established, and it allows ByuN to easily take his own 5th base in the forward position. So this position is achieving things, but it's not really achieving anything when it comes to good trades. Like, it's achieving positional advantage, perhaps denies a little bit of creep as well, and maybe sets up a launching pad for later on. As right now it seems like DRG actually wants to break this position. Going to start attacking into it. A couple of mine shots not quite hitting what they want to be hitting. Banelings getting some decent connections as well, as all of these mines are going to get cleaned up. Banelings, well, 5th base forced to lift, and this actually was the main point of that entire position, was that you can get your 5th base there. Right now we see the re-establishing of that 5th, the 2 Banshees, 12 kills each. That means 24 kills total. They will die an honorable death. They did not get shot in the back. No, they turned around and fought. It wasn't a very fair fight, as there was only 2 of them, and they were very damaged against Vipers, Hydras, and some Lynx and Banes on the ground cheering as well. When the Banshees got taken down, you could hear the Link cheers from very, very far. Couple of mules here, start mining. And the mine count, I think, is one of the most worrying things here right now for ByuN. The fact that his mine count is, well, at 9, it's not even that low. Tank count is at 0 though. And in that case, I guess the mine count, well, especially the established mine count, is very low. There's only a single mine here at the front. That means this planetary is going to die for free. Does DRG want to continue pushing in? I don't think he does. There is a lurker then done already. Are there lurkers out? No, there aren't. We have adaptive talents on the way. Seismic spines is done as well. So the lurker upgrades are here. +1 range is done as well. And carapace is on the way. So in my opinion, it is time to morph 7-8 lurkers and say, hey buddy, do you have any tanks? And if the answer is no, good luck ever establishing that 5th base. It's just going to be really difficult. ByuN is increasing the ghost count right now, as once again DRG fighting off creep mines. Will need to get good connections, do not get them. And there's not that many mines here in the back. Ooh, that was a big connection, and that will force DRG to move back, and this will allow an orbital. Oh wow. Huh. You know what? I don't mind it. ByuN knows that he wants to keep this very central position. He has a planetary defending his right side. Might want to build a planetary on the left over here as well. But the forward position, if you can lift that against Banelings and lurker pushes, is actually quite useful. And getting some extra scans also, of course, is something that can help once the opponent starts building lurkers. Right now it just seems to be pure Link, Bane, Hydra, Viper mines going to connect with a couple of these Banelings. Lots of Medivacs dying because of the mine splash. DRG looked at that and like, wait a second, that's an orbital. I can't just bust that down with 25 Banelings. I can try, but I will not succeed. So a lot of the ghosts here stay alive, and on the retreat a couple of these Hydras get sniped down as well. This could be a little bit problematic for DRG, who's losing more and more money, is very rapidly expanding all across the map. We see he's on 100 drones, exactly. ByuN on 81 workers, continuing to add more and more command centers. This command center still hasn't really decided what he wants to become, an orbital or a planetary. He's going to many job fairs right now to figure out what has a better future, you know. Orbital provides money and scans and detection, and a planetary, well, safety for your family. But it's also a defensive structure, and you can't move anymore. You're kind of stuck to one location. So it is a serious decision that you do need to think about, but you can't stay a command center forever, you know. Once you turn 18, my friend, you have to make some real choices in your life. And you can't be the command center forever. Orbital or planetary? What's it gonna be, boy? Pick now. 15, 15 ghosts are out, as well as 11 mines. Complete lack of tanks, no liberators whatsoever. This could be because there's no lurkers yet either. And perhaps ByuN knows something about DRG that I don't know, and that is perhaps that DRG doesn't like building lurkers anymore. I know he used to like building lurkers, but perhaps he's changed his mind on them. And as a result, ByuN says, well, if you don't build lurkers, why do I need tanks? Why do I need liberators? Well, tanks still are good against Baneling, but I guess we'll save that for another time. As right now, what do we have? What do we have? What do we have? A couple of Banes moving forward, trying to detonate some of these Widow Mines, but it's not quite going to succeed. Viper's feeling pretty useless here, by the way. Without any tanks there to Blinding Cloud, good EMPs on all of these Vipers. I guess no Parasitic Bomb on these medevacs is kind of big. Mines are going to connect in a big way right now. As all the ghosts, well, majority of the ghosts will stay alive. 6 went down. Not the greatest fight here for ByuN, honestly. I thought this could have been better. Also did not manage to get any of the Hydras on the retreat. The real power of the Ghost often isn't in the initial fight. They're good in the initial fight, don't get me wrong. But if the opponent needs to retreat, your snipes have legitimately infinite range as long as you have vision. So you scan, you snipe, and then you kill like 9, 10 Hydras on the retreat. And that's often where the real power of the Ghost comes in. Is that there's no retreating against the Ghost army, but DRG managed to actually retreat to a safe zone where he couldn't get sniped anymore. Very important moment there. Very, very important moment. ByuN starts adding a couple of Liberators as DRG created 87 extra Banelings and is going to attack this position. This is the final gas that he has, though. A couple of EMPs going down on the Banelings. That doesn't work. Banelings don't have shield. Do we get a lift on this orbital? No, yes, we do, but it's a little bit too late. It's going to die here. There's still 2 command centers, 1 forward planetary as well. This command center is going to get taken out right now. 19 workers have fallen as well. Not a single mine in this army anymore. Oi, 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 where are all the mines for ByuN? There's a couple towards the left, a couple towards the right, and I bet a couple coming out of the factory right now. But this was a terrible, terrible fight. Resources lost remained pretty much even, which means it was cost efficient for DRG. And also DRG had a massive bank, so it's easy for him to remax. And now we see that lurker remax. 9 lurkers on the way. DRG wants to start attacking perhaps the side base with lurkers here. I would not mind that whatsoever. I think ByuN is in an absolute world of trouble right now. Does not quite have the ghost count anymore. Does not have any tanks. 2 liberators and 3 ghosts is all that there is to deal with lurkers right now. And that is simply just not going to be enough. I do not believe it. There's still Vipers as well, which could be dealing with Liberators. Missile attack level 3 finishes up. This right side base is just going to get taken out. There's nothing that ByuN can do about it. A little bit of a link flank coming from the left side. More Banelings moving in as well. Once again, the medevacs are getting hit. Parasitic Bomb, Parasitic Bomb. Oh, yes. There we go. All of these medevacs in the red right now. So a bunch of them are going to go down. I think that was 3 medevacs who just fell there. Spore is working on one of the other medevacs. And ByuN, 157 supply, is going for the final push of this game. He has a big army. 110 army supply against 107. But there's still so much money in the bank for DRG. There's so many lurkers. And there's nothing to deal with these lurkers. Lurkers start going to town on this Bio Ghost army. Overseers do spot these mines. I do really believe that this is it for ByuN. ByuN cannot hold any longer, and the lurkers are just running in. They say, hi friends, I want to get closer to you, and then put some spines in your body. You don't start running away, but the lurkers range is just a little bit too much. Banelings will start connecting as well. I mean, we're all on creep. GG gets called. DRG wins this game on Glittering Ashes after a fantastic Hydra Ling Bane style of continuously just blasting that 5th base again and again and again. ByuN incapable of getting any momentum whatsoever in this game and thus will not win. Congrats to DRG. Enjoy your win. Thanks all of you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then I'll see you all next time for a new video. Don't forget to smash like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see all of you. Bye bye.